Yeah. All right. So today we have Istvan Kohan, incredible clarinet player based in Japan. Kind of a celebrity in Japan, I might say. I might dare to say, but you have an amazing account. You do incredible stuff with the clarinet, and your videography is incredible. Just all the things that you do on your account. So you have amazing following, and you rightly deserved, you know. But how did you start playing clarinet? How old were you?
Uh, First of all, thank you to
Sure.
have me here to your interview show. So, I have to say it's just the very same story, like how we do most of the things. Your parent is doing something, and you feel that you have to do the very same thing. So my father is a brilliant clarinetist, and just the very same way, like as a kid I felt I have to drink coffee because he is drinking coffee, so I had to play the clarinet. That was something like that.
Yeah. So what kind of training did your dad have a training program with you, or
Oh
you just kind of like
no.
you just kind of followed what you did and that was it? Yeah.
uh, this is really depends on the aspect. First of all, what you have to know is the Hungarian music education system is one of a kind. I do not have knowledge about how is it going in other countries very specifically, but as far as I see, in Hungary we have national system from the elementary level to the academic level. What I mean by that national system is that you can learn from professional musicians face to face lesson, not group lesson, face to face lesson, almost free from elementary level until you graduate the university. We have music schools, not like how to say, try to imagine music school in Hungary as an elementary school what is starting after the elementary school. So what it means is really you are only going there for learning music, professional instrument teachers, professional solfege teachers, and even you get piano accompaniment. So
Yeah, and
actually,
the
go
whole
on.
day. Is this the whole day or it's after your normal school then
Oh
you go
no,
in the
no, it's afternoon, and of course, it's not like necessarily every day, but let's say I think if you are in a normal course, you get maybe one 30-minute lesson a week, and of course, we are talking about really little kids, so 30 minutes a week it's more than enough, and uh, and if you have maybe slightly higher course like you want to be a musician or something, in that case you get maybe 45 minutes I think. In high school, still national system, in high school I got two lessons a week, one with the teacher and one with the teacher and the accompanist. The accompanist is a professional pianist, and it, the very same thing in the university. And so far I don't really know if there's any other country who is giving you two lessons a week. One is one teacher face to face, and the other one is two professional teachers just for you,
Yeah.
and
Amazing.
you are not paying for it. And
Yeah.
actually, my whole adulthood I spent in Japan, and uh, Japan is just like the United States. It's kind of based on business, and that's the system. And if I go back to Hungary and I see people, uh, complaining about the system, yeah, oh yeah, the music school, and oh, this is not working. That yeah, maybe it's not working, but you get two lessons for free, and you are getting your salary from the government to be able to dedicate yourself. Okay, that's a questionable thing if the salary is enough or not, but at
Uh-huh.
least there is a system designed to let people grow up from music, and even if you don't have money, you can get out from the system, and you grow up by this system. That's
Yeah.
something crazy.
And you're taking ear training as a kid, like a really little kid. You're doing ear training, pretty much.
Yeah, this is also why I said it's up to the aspect. If my father gave me, if I did ear training,
Hmm.
what do we call training or ear training, or what is special or not special? I would say everything what happened in my childhood, I don't really see in other countries.
Hmm.
So what I mean by that, if you ask specifically ear training, we had quite a serious solfege lessons from already from the age I think I was 7. I was elementary one and first grader, and we start very easy things, intervals and such kind of things. Also, I don't, for example, I don't have a perfect pitch, and just by the color, I anytime I can recognize intervals, harmonies, many kind of things, and this is absolutely because of the Hungarian education system. So that was quite a nice thing. Also, just for a word back to my father, I was just learning. Actually, I started with a recorder with my mom, and later my father started to teach clarinet to me. So if it's any special or not, I grew up like this, so it's hard to say if it's special or not. It's quite normal in Hungary.
Hmm.
So let's say I was lucky to grow up in the country what provides you such background for music, for basic music education.
Yeah, and you have an amazing ear, obviously, because of the way you play. I mean, are you hearing the way you play? Are you hearing the music as you're playing in your head? Like it starts in your head first, and then it comes out of your clarinet.
This is a very complicated question because you know usually how I talk to my students about what you asked. Actually, two very specific thing belongs to this. One is the sound concept, and one is the musical concept. The sound concept is something what you need to know what you want to hear, and actually, this is not just your instrument, but even your voice. For example, you have a crazy good and attractive voice, and for example, just to sample you, if anyone goes back and watch any of my older videos, I had my voice like this. I was talking like this. I was talking from the throat, not from the diaphragm, and I really tried my best to reset my voice. And it's also changing everything together with your instrument too. If you have a vision what you want to hear, then it's happening. The musical part, it's something I like to use the example of driving with navigation, because if you drive with navigation, you following orders like go left, go right, 200 meters, and something happens. And if you try to go point A to B only with navigation, you will absolutely not remember how you get there. What you don't remember anything, because the information that you process is actually only what you are being told by the machine. And back in the old days, how you were navigating is actually you trying to understand and process your environment, the informations of your environment. I go straight. There's a very weird yellow house. There I turn right. I go until I get into the something. You are processing information. Music is the very same. If you read the score, you are lost. You will have no idea about what you personally want to do with your music, and this is definitely something what I hear inside. More importantly, when I learned a piece, I I was a very lazy kid, and I just realized this as an adult that I never really put my music on the stand, because you have to get your score, your music from your bag or something. And no, I was all the time practicing by heart, even with mistakes or something, but I was too lazy to get my music on the stand. So because of that, my connection with music is very different. And and already I have a vision what I want to do, because I'm not following notes. Of
Yeah, I
course,
noticed that.
yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that in your videos. I mean, I rarely see a music stand in front of you. So, are you just visualizing the music as it goes along? Like you can almost see it like a house, like going room to room. You kind of visualizing the piece in your head as you play?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for example, if you think about, have you ever seen on social media or somewhere there was brilliant, all the cream of the British acting, they are fooling around with the phrase of to be or not to be. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
No, okay. So, surely, please check it on YouTube. When all these people come on stage, and they all try to emphasize some part of. First, the guy starts to be or not to be. That is the question. Then, see the guy comes, and to be or not to be, and they try to go through, you to be or not to be. That's the question, and they try every variation of that. And now today, consciously, what I'm doing is, you get one little phrase, and you just, like an actor, you are repeating and repeating that one phrase until you really understand, not just what does that mean, but also what does that mean for you. And then you can, actually, the very same thing like acting. If you cannot use the words like it's your own, then you cannot do it. Actually, Marlon Brando, Marlon Brando, he was one of the, okay, not the first, but one leading person who was doing methodic acting. And uh, actually, there's information about that he rejected to learn the script, and he used tons of cards on the set to really sight read and react real, like having real emotions. And okay, actually, this is quite the opposite what I was saying, because what I'm saying is I'm trying, but at the same time, you read the text, and it's much easier to understand the information, to understand the words. What does it mean? But music, you see a bunch of notes, and you are, especially if you have no perfect pitch like me, you need to feel what is the harmony, what are the notes, what is the direction, what does it mean, and after you come up with your vision.
hmm So, yeah, and I was going to comment on this too, but when I watch you play, it looks cinematic. Like it looks like I'm watching a movie, meaning I can kind of see the drama in front of me. It's almost like somebody playing, like you're saying, acting. So you're thinking about acting quite a bit. It's almost like you're thinking scenes, you're thinking emotions and drama and things like that while you're playing. Yeah.
Absolutely. What was it, a question or?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was just kind of confirming that that's what you're doing. And so
Okay,
so it's
yeah.
like you're seeing visuals more than, I
Oh
mean, you're
yeah,
hearing the
yeah.
sound, but you're almost like seeing visuals in your head in a sense.
And we all use what we can use. For example, just a few weeks ago, I have a lovely student. He's 75. He worked worked 20 years in CERN, Switzerland. He's a physician, a scientist, and he came to me to learn klezmer music. And and we were trying. I was trying to show him how many details are there in music, and I just get him like a 5 second scene from the first Alien movie, and when you start to analyze a scene, that first of all, just what is there, and for example, now I see your background. That's your real life. That's your home, and you know every little thing, every little nuance, the monkey statue on the shelf or something. If you would try to make this from scratch, from you to visually make a home look like a home, then you have to do all those details, everything what you see in a movie. Especially, it's very interesting to analyze animation movie, because you are not stick with physicality, and you can create anything you want, and you know whatever is there, and also, even more importantly, the light. One someone said once that the light in motion picture is the same what is the music in the opera, and it's very, very true, because with the light you can spotlight, literally you can spotlight what is important. And also, if you start to analyze a movie with such kind of eye, then you can see that, okay, there the light is coming from a different direction, so it was recorded with a cut, and just to emphasize some important detail, they cut the scene, and they fully reset the lighting, just to create the illusion that that particular little thing is still that important. And
Uh-huh.
the very same with music, and or even, how many times in music um, we can see some motive returning, and also in movie, or also, for example, in comedy. you know uh, there's one motive, and it only can be very interesting and get the punchline if you use the very same motive later. So actually, I really believe that for music we have to be quite much like a good director.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, it's not working.
Amazing. Yeah, I can definitely see that when you play. I mean, so when you're learning a new piece, do you learn from the music first and then memorize it, or you start it memorized and you just keep learning it that way?
Um, I instant memorizing. For example, let's say, uh, okay, this really depends on the task. First of all, um, I'm not sure what, probably every kind of musicians are watching the show, and every instrument has very different approach of learning a music by
Uh,
heart, because pianists and the string instrumentalists, they grow up with the skill. They are get used to that. You have to learn a new Bach on every week for every lesson, and it's just a very different programming of your brain. What I'm doing, what instant memorizing means for me, is something like, if I really have to proceed very fast with the new music, I try to go little phrase by little phrase, and understand that little phrase harmony wise. It helps me to memorize, because if you just practice and practice, and you expect the music to get in your hands, you are already on the wrong way, because at some point you will have serious mistakes, or if not mistakes, you will have mental how to say, fall down, breakdown. You will be quite nervous because of, oh, was it that note or not? And also, what happens is actually you are double checking everything. So what happens real time in your brain if you are not really sure if that note is that note is, of course, it looks like you are proceeding with the piece, but actually you are double checking that, like, oh yes, that's an F sharp. Was it? Yes, really. And this happens in your brain in real time, and of course it goes very fast, but still it gets you out from the flow. So I really try to understand what is that note and why is that note, and you try to connect it with multiple things like the feeling of your finger, the image of the score, the image of the note. Even I have visually inside something like giant clarinet in my head, and I can see my fingers going on giant keys, something like that. So as much visual and how to say, not visual, some part visual, but inside visual things, you try to connect your music, and then you can remember. And
Mhm.
also this is the note part and the music part also. So if you don't know what, same with words, if you try to remember words, it will not happen. If you remember the information, it will happen, and even some cases you are allowed to reorganize the texture or everything what you have to say, but you will remember the information.
Mhm. Do you connect it to emotions too, and certain notes to emotions? And does that help as well, in
Mm?
terms
Certain notes to emotions.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. um, it's tricky because if you say, if I connect it to emotions, what is jumping right at me is not necessary notes, dynamics. Dynamics, I absolutely definitely connect to emotions because actually what we never do, you know, if you make a crescendo like da 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 da, that's a technical crescendo. But is it ya da dee da da, or what is that emotion? If you don't connect an emotional information to the phrase, to the note, it's not happening, and it's very artificial.
Yeah, yeah.
The very same with the breath. You know, doesn't matter if you are a wind instrumentalist or a string instrumentalist. We have to take breath, and if you don't know the purpose of your breath, then it will not work, because if you just stop for a breath and da 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 da, that's a breath. But if you go da 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 dee, da 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 da, if you know that what kind of information you are trying to continue with your breath, then it's the breath is part of the music. If not, it's interrupting the music.
Gotcha. Fascinating. And can you tell me a little bit about your practice routine? How much do you practice? When do you practice? What's your daily routine?
uh, okay, this will be probably very helpful for people. First of all, when I was a kid, I really did it quite hard. Like in high school, I woke up 4:40, and I was in the school 6 a.m. practicing to 8 a.m. Very sometimes sleeping a little bit until 8 a.m. But I did this for years, and here I have to also explain one other thing. Again, if someone looking back to my old videos, you can see I was double of my size. I was 160 kilograms. It's 320, 50 pounds or something. And so I was quite large. And already from my childhood, I was in quite in a weight. And you know, I really believe that to push yourself or to achieve something, we need some traumas. It can be an abusive parent, an abusive environment. It can be an abusive yourself. I hate myself when I was in high school. Like, being that fat, it's not a nice thing. And I knew that okay, I can do clarinet good, so I have to prove something with that. So this is not something. Why I talk about this, because we all have to understand that either you are pushing yourself or not. First of all, today, if you are not pushing yourself, the society and your environment makes you feel that, oh, you are not doing hard enough. Of course they don't say, but they make you feel that way. That's not nice, absolutely not nice. And we have to understand why those people who were pushing themselves very hard, why did they do? This is why I did, because I hated myself. I was very fat, and I didn't feel comfortable like that. So I tried my best to prove something with the clarinet. So probably if you didn't push yourself that much, it means that you are mentally healthy and you are good. And because of that, in reward, society makes you feel that you are not doing something good. So that was the the origin story of what I did. And the further I go into the freelance, this is also something. If we call it a soloist or we call it freelance, uh, for promotional purposes, I'm a soloist, but in fact, I'm a freelance. I have no job. My job is not to having a job and dedicating my 100% of my time what I'm doing. Therefore, today I would rather call myself a businessman, but I don't feel so. I'm a creative musician, a videographer, whatever. But why I'm putting this whole thing this way? Because I wish I could practice more, so I don't have a routine. My routine is knowing what I have to get done, and I know what timing I have to touch my clarinet to be able to get that job done. There's no routine. Also, um, for wind instruments, I think after a certain amount of years, your muscle structure is already knowing what you have to do. Of course, if you don't practice for 2 weeks, then still you need some recovery time. But I exactly, for example, let's make it real. I have to play Prokofiev Sonata and a bunch of other things 13th of May. Now, the last day of April, today in Japan now already. And so I have 2 weeks. And I exactly know what I need for that. I couldn't practice the last 1 week. Of course, I'm teaching. I'm teaching, so I'm touching my instrument. But in a very average life, you have to deal with the kids. You have to deal with the students. You are always doing something. People watch this, or you have a crazy impressive Instagram account, and people should not think it's easy to do. I just can imagine how much effort you do to make it happen and be consistent and everything. So today, to be a musician, and I don't want to go that far, but to be a successful musician, it's not working without spending like 80% of your time in front of the computer. So already that's limiting your time with your instrument. At the same time, if you know what you are doing, then you are good. So sometimes I exactly know that now I have to focus on that, and you make it happen. You make time for yourself. I would say I am a moderately conscious person about my scheduling. But Nick, do you know who is Makoto Ozone? He's a jazz pianist, a quite famous jazz pianist, especially in Japan, but of course also all around the world. And it just happened that I met him in a. I joined a friend of mine who was just after a concert with him, and I really like him. I like Makoto and his music, and I asked him that is it okay, because we already played in the same concert years ago, so I dared to ask him, Makoto, is it okay if I witness your composing time? Like, I will shut the fuck up. Sorry.
That's okay.
I will not say a word. But I just want to be there, sit there, and I just want to listen. I want to witness what you are doing when you are composing, and because I'm a beginner composer, I try to compose more and more, and I wanted to see what he is doing creatively, and you know what he said? It shocked me. Actually, first he accepted, after he rejected, and I very much understand. Also, I don't want anyone to watch me when I'm composing. But what shocked me for real, he said, okay, tomorrow I am composing in this rehearsal hall from 10 to 11:30. So this means his composing time is in his schedule like an important meeting.
Okay.
So it's it's not just like oh wait, let me check. Okay, I decided time for. First of all, do you decide yourself time to this is the time slot when I be practicing? But even he remembers, so it's such an important thing for him, and I felt myself this small that I never make a decision on I should do practicing or composing that time. Still, I'm pushing myself to be like that, but I'm just not that. How to say? I'm a very conscious person in other things. I make lists. I write down everything, but not what I'm doing when. This is
But
still
for you,
something I
yeah. But for you,
go
it's
ahead.
you need a deadline. If you have a deadline, then you're good. You're gonna keep working. Yeah. So for you, like for moving forward, for you, you need that tension, that a little bit of tension, like a deadline or not feeling good about, like in high school, how you said you didn't feel good about yourself. You need to prove
Yeah,
yourself in clarinet. So it's all that kind of thing. Like if you need that, find that tension point. That's just the musician life, right? It's always about like the next
yeah.
thing that's coming. Yeah, so that's what moves you forward. Yeah. So you have to consciously, I mean, as a freelancer, being a freelance person or a soloist, and you're constantly setting up these projects so you have something new to do. I mean, but what kind of work does that take in terms of setting these new projects up, these deadlines that you have? How do you establish yourself as a freelancer?
In my opinion, if someone is thinking about to be a freelancer, we really have to study business. This is not what I was coming from. To give a more understandable, full response on this, what made me who I am today is, first of all, I had a wish. It was not a dream. It was more like a wish that I wanted to be a soloist. And first of all, my very first action towards being a soloist was I was trying to understand what is the soloist quality of playing. I was constantly trying to understand from recordings, not consciously. I was not good at analyzing myself that time, but myself or anything. But I tried to understand from recordings that what makes a quality being a soloist quality is blah blah blah. You know, for example, you can think about that if it's perfect or not technically, if it's expressive or not, if it's interesting or not. Because and of course, after you connect it really to marketing, you have to sell a product. If you are not convincing with your own product, then you cannot sell it to your audience, and this is actually critical because someone comes to listen you. If they don't feel that they want to buy again the concert ticket, then you have no retention. And yeah, this is something. And so this was the base. I knew that I want to be a soloist, and also in on the way, I gave up this a few times. You know, uh, I met my wife when I was 18. She is 10 years older than me. She was very tough on me to guiding me. You know, she sometimes she was like not like, oh, I think you should more, but no, she was like, you want to play shit like that, you know. She was quite harsh, but everything what I'm today is because of that, because she gave me perspective to what I have to do. And later I touched my first camera uh, when I was 19 or 20 or something. 19. I needed to get a photo of myself, and that time in Hungary, you know, it was still just we were getting in deeper to the digital cameras and everything, and you know, today you throw a stone and you hit someone with the camera, and that time it was not like that. And I did not have money to get a professional headshot or something, and sorry. And so what we did, I bought a camera and we started to practice. And it turned out that actually I really like to do that. So also my very first YouTube video, I was playing a Bach violin solo partita movement, and it happened that I was recording video for my pianist friend, and we were in a very nice location, and I was like, okay, shall we record a video for the audio what I just recorded a few days ago? Actually, it was a playback, and also that audio, it was not on purpose. I was testing out the first time how to record audio, and I put it together. So you know, it was all kind of a joke, and I uploaded my very first YouTube video, uh, 2012, and 2 years later, you know, it was just there. 2 years later, I met a Korean guy in a competition, and he came to me and he said, "Oh, Kohan, I'm a fan of you." And I was like, "Why?" And he said that, "Oh, because I love your Bach video." And in that moment, I realized if you have a YouTube video, you have power. So I don't mean some kind of uh, like you have power. No, what I mean is, yeah, if you want to go on the path of being a soloist, you have to do something what people can watch. So that was the beginning, and after that particular moment, I started to make more effort on making videos, and years later it turned out, first of all, a second profession for me. Very often musician friends and other people ask me for making video production, even sometime from the United States. I get jobs that composers want me to make video of their pieces with Japanese musicians, and it's always a pleasure to do such kind of things. And also I'm doing production for myself. So usually when we are working, it's not only one piece, but we really try to work as a production. And now I'm hiring people for coming, because obviously if I'm in front of the camera I cannot be the cameraman. But every case I'm working with musicians. So every cameraman who is working for me, everyone is musician, because they need to understand what music is, and it's just a different thing. Of course, I'm not saying that someone who is not coming from music cannot film properly music. I'm just saying that I feel more comfortable to know that, for example, the main guy who I usually ask for video production, he played the clarinet himself, and he knows these pieces, and it's really nice to know that he know these pieces. And also when I'm working, for example, just last year I made a video recording for my friend for her CD. She was playing Prokofiev sonatas, and I only played the flute sonata, the second violin sonata, and I was so comfortable to record that. I was not comfortable to record the first Prokofiev violin sonata because I didn't do that. Yeah, so kind of this is how I build up everything. Or I'm not sure if you were asking about the very technical background, like making plans.
Well, no, that's really helpful. So you really just think of yourself as a businessman. You got to put yourself out there. You're doing all these different things. It's
Yeah,
not just about playing the clarinet, and it's not about people discovering you. You have to
yeah,
actually put yourself
yeah,
out there so people can discover you, right? So,
yeah,
yeah, and so you have all these different things happening. I mean, you're doing a lot. You're doing composing, arranging. You do, these arrangements that you sell on your website, the teaching, the recording. So all of this plays into it, of making a career as a freelancer, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not just about playing clarinet well, right? It's a whole nother
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Actually, today, if you do one thing, it's really very sad. But probably now and the next, who knows how many years, you will not make a living doing one thing, unfortunately. And if you want to feel good, what I'm doing is everything is connected and everything is supporting each other. For example, let's say if you decide to, let's say for instance, play in an orchestra, but you need a second job, and you do something that is very much not connected to anything of it, then the two things will not support each other, and you will find yourself at a place that either you have to choose which one you are focusing on, or maybe you have a burnout. Something will happen. What I'm doing is actually still it's not at the highest level of everything is aligning together, because doing videography, composing, playing, everything, actually what is really aligning is much more. Now what I'm working on is to be able to compose more, so I'm creating my personal musical world, because how many people are interested me playing Sandstone Sonata or Poulenc Sonata or something. That number is limited. So if I want to get this world bigger for myself, I need to compose my music coming from my Hungarian roots or something. And in that case, that's really authentic. That's me. I can reach out to people with that, and it becomes one system. So I'm composing it, I'm recording it. It's on YouTube and other platforms. People can buy the music, and it's everything one package.
Yeah,
And
so it's in the orbit of so if you were doing something totally different like computer programming, it doesn't necessarily relate, but you take music as a skill
yes,
and all these other skills that relate
yes,
to it, and then you can
yes,
make money doing freelance video work and stuff like that on the side. Yeah, for musicians, right? So
exactly, exactly.
yeah, so yeah. I saw one post that you put. It was quite a while back. I was just scrolling through your feed last night, just trying to find every. I watched a lot of your like going back 2 years and all that kind of thing. But one post that kind of really intrigued me. You were talking about learning this piece by Rager, and you said that you had a love-hate relationship with it, so I was just
Mhm,
interested in that idea, like how do you finally conquer a piece? Because when you're trying to learn it, it like kicks
mhm.
back at you and it kicks your butt a little bit, but then how do you finally get over the hump where you conquer that piece and it's like part of you now, you know and you have to struggle for a while, right?
Oh yeah, especially I absolutely didn't understand Rhaegar. I really respect those people who can understand Rhaegar. It's not an easy thing to super complicated and chaotic. So how you conquer a piece is surely everyone has some memory of doing something what you don't like to do, but actually this is like a Stockholm syndrome. Is you are attached to that one thing in a certain situation that you learn to love. So it's something like that. Like if you spend a certain amount of hours doing that particular thing, and you are going through all emotions, love and hate with that piece, you learn to love. Actually, this is in psychology. We never let ourselves deny or ego. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you say out loud that oh yes, I like to do this, then you will not let yourself to act otherwise, and even you start to defend the obvious, sorry, bullshit, to defend your ego. So this is how we work. So if you spend 50 hours practicing a piece, you will be an idiot saying that this is not for me, because then you will deny your ego, because your ego said no, do it more, do it hard, yes we will do it. And at the end of the day, you just already in the emotional package of it becomes part of your ego that yes, I'm doing it, I'm loving it. So
Mhm.
you can't help yourself to start to love something but you hated.
Okay, so but it takes a while. I mean, do you I was just curious, do you practice slowly when you're learning a piece, trying to build it up and all that? Or
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, a lot.
And you ask slowly, and I'm quite sure that you don't only mean technical phrases, but general.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're trying to learn a really fast passage, you'll break it down slowly and build it up. Do you spend a lot of time doing that, or your technique is just so baked in you don't spend a lot of time practicing slowly?
Oh no, no, no! I'm doing it, and this is also something that I'm always very open to my students about, because especially today, what people do is, oh hey, look at me, blah, 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 how cool I am. No, there is a certain amount of time what you invest to be able to do that, and it's not easy, and no one should think it's easy. And why this is very dangerous, because you know I don't see myself as an influencer, But everyone who is putting even one video out there, you are influencing someone in some way. So what I mean by that, if you give out the impression that that you are doing something crazy and it's easy to do, what happens after that? Some young person is coming to see your video, and either if they see that oh, it's so easy for him, so there's something wrong with me. That's not good. Also, if that young person thinks that oh, this is music, okay, this is no. In that situation, it becomes very similar to how to put it into verse to not to get cut out. So like adult industry videos. So what I mean by that is playing like this. You know, when when especially boys, when we, but even surely girls too, when we grow up, you are thinking about, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, that speed, that length, that size, that something, and young people get very confused about their intimate life because they see a very unreal picture, and let's say it out loud, this is not music. This is very far from music, and of course it can be very attractive, but we should not give out the impression for that. And I want to emphasize that yes, I'm practicing slow a lot. Also, I'm practicing fast, and this is something that we never talk. The wind players never talk about this because have you ever seen a pianist to practice?
A little bit, you know.
Okay, how pianists practice is very often. There is a certain movement, there are jumps or whatever, and it physically have to happen. Nick, you surely know the sitcom Friends, right? Okay, for the younger listeners, please look up in Google. Okay, just Friends like that. 6 people in New York, friends, 3 girls, 3 boys, and there's a very silly character, Joey, and he wants to show a card trick to his friends. Do you remember this scene? And okay, so they are in the living room, and he's showing the card, and he watches it like this, but he believes that it's fast enough to not to be able to notice, and okay, you choose a card, okay, give me back, and he does this, and everyone is watching him like, are you serious? You really believe that we cannot see that what you are doing? And he goes, okay, let me show you slow, like this. And actually, what wind instrumentalists do when they practice slow is this: is da 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 da, is practicing like this. What is helpful, because you have a very good understanding of what happens technically, it's also necessary. But in real life, to really nail a certain movement, it only happens with a speed. As for example, in piano, if for instance, la campanella, like dum 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 dum, to make this jump happen, it's if you try to practice like lam 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 lam, that's false information for your hand, because in real time that's not the feeling. It rather should be ta-dum ta-dum ta-dum, or opposite, dum ta-dum ta-dum, or something, to really understand that motion. So I practice slow too, incredibly slow. Usually when I ask my students, okay, show me how you practice. No, I'm not here. Show me. If I'm not here, how do you practice? They go some way, and I ask, no, 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 no. Okay, show me the slowest. And they go far not enough slow, what I would expect. And I always have to tell them that, no, I'm practicing 2 times slower than you. Because what I'm trying to do, this is a misunderstanding. Usually teachers don't really communicate to their students that why do we do this. The narrative for practicing is do it a lot and it will work. But we never talk about what happens with you neurologically in this whole thing. And it has to be speaking, how you learn a certain movement with your fingers. Your brain between the brain cells, there are synapses, and your brain is working on to making new connections for every movement. So this also means if you make the wrong movement, you are making experience, you are making new connections in your brain for the bad movement. So what you need to do is very carefully and out of the wish of understanding, you go in a very slow tempo. Ti, da, my finger is here, going to the next note that is here. For example, how I'm teaching my daughter, she plays the piano. And very often I have to ask her, of course it's not easy for a kid, but I say, no, you play, and da-da-da, the next note will be, I understand now, and I go on to the next note. Because in that case, it's the very same like the running tape, rolling tape in the factory. I'm not sure how you say it in English. And product is coming with a certain speed. You have to do something with the product. If it goes too fast, then you get confused and you will make a mistake, for sure. So, of course, but you surely see videos on social media that some crazy kid is going like like in super speed, because if he did it so long time, then you learn how to do it. So yeah, first of all, we need understanding on what we are doing mechanically on the clarinet, any instrument, but also sometimes we need fast practice because it has to happen real time. Actually, just think about how martial arts going. So when they try to break a brick and it's not going like no, it's always goes like first you measure it. I will go like this. One more, I will go like this, and after they go like that. That's it.
Yeah, so do you work up to the fast, or you just go slow and then really fast? Slow or up the tempo, or do you slowly get faster?
When I was a kid, or let's say until my mid-20s, I was doing that. Now I'm not doing it, but this is also something that young people need to understand about. There's a very specific piece, the La Traviata paraphrase for clarinet, and it's crazy challenging, and I learned 3 times in my life. The first time I wanted to play on my first demo CD when I was 20 something, like 21, 2 or something like that. I failed very bad. I was really I was practicing, and I couldn't, absolutely obviously couldn't make to make that quality what I could accept, and I gave up. The next time I was 25-ish, so like 3-4 years later, it was almost acceptable. I played in a concert. I did my best. It was not the way. Still, I couldn't play a few phrases the way I wanted, and technically was impossible. But let's say slightly acceptable. And at the end of my 20s, I prepared it for my last competition, and I could feel that okay, now I get it. And it was absolutely not up to how much you practice it. It was I was physically limited. I was not ready technically, and I'm considering myself a relatively uh, good, technically skilled person. Is it
Uh-huh.
right? A skilled person in with my technique, because I spent so much time, years of daily, at least 1 hour skill a day, and still I was not ready for that technically. Also, the first time I played Bartok Romanian dances in an arrangement for clarinet, I said, okay, no, no, this is not meant to be on the clarinet. I want to give it up, and I got used to, and now I can play it without practicing anytime, because it gets into your body. So actually, yes, we need to speed up, slow to fast, really, really very slow. And this is also up to the culture, up to the age. My wife, uh, she she's all time 23, but I'm 35 and she is 10 years older,
Uh-huh.
but 23. So she is coming from a generation in Japan who they were going to concerts, they were buying CDs. She has quite an impressive CD collection, and she told me that she practiced when she was a kid. Like she get a matchbox and get out the matches, and one by one putting back to the box. Dee-do-dee-do-dee-da-dum, one back. Dee-do-dee-do-dee-da-dum, one back. You make a mistake when you already put 20 back. Again, start from the beginning. That's crazy. That's
Uh-huh.
too much.
Okay.
Uh, but still, I have to say, you know, these stories have to be told. Actually, I don't know how you feel about this, but I I have a feeling that we don't tell that much stories. Like when I was a kid, I heard crazy stories of my ancestors from about the people who were studying there before me, and we need these stories to relate to something, and to have a strong background. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks, man. Well, let me ask you one more question. How did you lose all the weight? Was it just living in Japan, the food's healthier, or like what happened there?
Oh no. In Japan, surely the food is slightly healthier,
Mm,
uh, but not necessarily. Okay, what happened? First of all, I had a um, click moment. I saw a photo of myself in bright sunlight next to my wife, and that was quite exposing. And I saw it, and okay, we have to do something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so that I believe we need, for something like that, we need a click moment when you decide that it cannot go anymore that way how it was. And and after that, what I did, I like to say it in the funny way that I was eating a ton of chocolate. That's how I lost weight. So to go deeper in that, that time I didn't know what was that. But actually I did intermittent fasting before knowing what is intermittent fasting. Who doesn't know what is intermittent fasting is uh, making your body starve for at least 16 hours, because at least 16 hours is required for certain procedures happen in your body, hormone wise, fat burning. Not eating 16 hours gives you more clarity. Actually, I'm also doing right now again because my schedule is just too crazy. Also, I need to lose a bit more weight. But first of all, I need clarity in my life, and doing intermittent fasting gives me less time spending with eating and more clarity in my life. So that time I was eating only before noon and whatever I like. And this is crucial. To do something consistent, you have to do it the way what you really can enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy, you will give up very fast or you burn out. So that was my method. Of course, at the beginning, I ate one big salad a day for lunch. Okay, quite a nice one with dressing and everything. So it was not something like eating greens only, or no, it was a massive salad, and that helped me through the first 25 kilograms. It's in pounds.
Mhm. Yeah, 50 or so, something like that. 50.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. So that was the start, because I was 160, so 350 pounds ish. Uh, so I really needed to lose weight to start to be able to start to go to the gym, because if such heavy weight, it's killing your joints and everything, so it's impossible. And of course I went to the gym too. That was very important for me, mentally, especially mentally. I remember uh, one of the Christmas when I was doing this. In Japan, Christmas is not Christmas. Christmas is a party. It's not at all like in the Christian related or actually any other religion. Also Jewish has Hanukkah. So most of the other parts of the world, we have something related to the winter solstice. And Japanese people, no, they go parties, they do company parties, personal parties. It's actually really, really fun, but nothing Christmassy. And I remember I was talking with my parents. They were doing Christmas, and they were eating a lot, and I felt very proud that, okay, I go to the gym even Christmas, because I want to go hard on myself, and that was mentally very important for me to constantly feel that I am making effort on this. And you need to make effort to start to respect yourself,
Mhm.
because if you do something like that, this is the very same ego thing, that if you implement into your ego that I am the person, I'm doing this, I'm going hard, then you will feel very stupid to eat the wrong thing the wrong time, because it's already part of your ego that I'm doing this very hard, and it helps a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just like changing your identity first, and then everything else kind
Yes.
of falls into place.
Yes.
Yeah. So you decided that you're a new person now, and yeah, amazing. Well, Kohan, thank you so much. This is amazing. So
Thank you.
we're check out Kohan's website and his amazing Instagram page. He's making a ton of amazing videos. They're filmed very well. The playing is incredible, honestly, just incredible. So really enjoying what you do, and check out his Instagram page and his website and his YouTube page, right? So yeah, go see him in concert. But thanks so much. Thanks,
Thank you.
Kohan.
Thank
Have
you.
a, have a good night.